Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is Rahul and I'm on a journey to become a front-end developer. In today's stream, I will be completing the mini project social profile. Let's discuss what we will do in this stream. So we will work on the social profile links project. So let's see what are all the things that we had left in the previous stream that we will complete in this stream. So semantics is okay. So in the previous stream we were working on making the links navigable through the keyboard, and we were figuring out on how to do it. So let's search the web. Still I don't know how to navigate the links through keyboard only. Okay, let's search the web and see what are all the options we have. Don't know, it all seems very confusing. Let's find something better. Let's search through MDN. Okay, keyboard, navigable, JavaScript widgets. Open use JavaScript to mimic desktop widgets such as menus, previews, rich text, fill, and tab panels. These widgets are typically composed of div and span elements that do not by nature offer the same keyboard functionality that their desktop counterparts do. This document describes techniques to make JavaScript widgets accessible with the keyboard. By default, when people use the tab key to browse a web page. Only interactive elements like links from controls get focused with the tab index. Authors can make other elements focusable too. When set to 0, the element becomes focusable by keyboard and script. Set to okay. Okay, so with the tab 0 we can with the tab 0 attribute we can access we can navigate the links, but I want to navigate the links by using the key up key and low key. Means up key and down key. I want to navigate the links. Let's check how to do it. Using arrow. We have been back to the same website that we have been reading for a while. Let's go through this website. I hope we may find our answer on how to navigate using the arrows. Okay, navigate within widgets, tablets, checkboxes within a disclosure button, etc., and navigate around a page. Applicable success criteria. Bear with me, guys. I'm actually looking through the blogs and see what is the right answer or for the on how to navigate these links using up and down arrow keys in the keyboard. So bear with me. So we have just used the tab index attribute to navigate the links using the tab key of the keyboard. I haven't been able to figure out how to do it using the arrow keys. Maybe it requires writing JavaScript, which I don't want to do it now, but surely I will learn it in the future for the upcoming projects. Okay, this works fine. And let's see what are all the things that is required. So we have also set the focus pseudo class. I was a little confused about it. So what I got from it is that it works similar to the it works when we are using the tab index. It is just to know that what should be the style when we are using the tab index. It is similar to the hover effect. Okay, what else we should work on? I think we should focus on making more semantic. Let's see if you have got anything or any HTML elements which are not that semantic. Okay, we have got only one div, that's it. And let's change the CSS to be, let's change the fixed width to relative units. Let's change all the pixels to rem. Let's calculate it. Okay, as promised, let's focus on learning CUBE CSS and apply it. Since we do not have anything else to draw about it, let's close this tab. Let's read it through. Okay, CUBE CSS, it is a CSS methodology that's oriented towards simplicity, pragmatism, and consistency. It's designed to work with the medium that you are working in. Okay, often the browser, rather than against it. Much involves. Okay, stands for composition utility block exception. Okay. Block exception. No, this methodology. So as far as we know, the cube part, it is a part of the CSS, but it gives more control over the CSS to us. Okay. So it is, okay, it differs to the web methodology. I don't know what is it. Okay, it takes its inspiration from web methodology. A good way to think of it is step back from BEM's principles. Okay, so the core of BEM is blocks. We also have block here. Whereas with CUBE CSS, the core is CSS. Okay, so in CUBE CSS, we are following all the fundamentals of the CSS, that is cascading. Okay, here it written the cascade and inheritance. The cascade and inheritance are embraced, not avoided in the CUBE CSS. So by the time you get down to blocks in CUBE, they become much more insignificant. Okay, blocks. Just like CSS, CUBE CSS scales perfectly well. So if you want to scale our CSS, we have to use the CUBE CSS. Okay. Okay, CUBE CSS has been used to in major websites, in tiny blogs, as well as mobile apps, and even intranet. Oh, what is this internet thing? Okay, let's not go into the rabbit hole. Okay, it is. This methodology has roots in both. Okay. Okay, it works well for huge projects as well as to building small websites. Let's go into the principles. So, the overarching principle of CUBE CSS is simplicity. Okay, simplicity. There's a lot of benefits to letting the right tools do their job without any intervention. The browser is hinted rather micromanaged to do what it knows best, the context, what it finds itself in. So the overarching principle of CUBE CSS is simplicity. We will be seeing all this in the examples. Let's go through the theory first. The browser is tinted, rather micromanaged to do what it knows best. The context. Okay, this I didn't got what it is. As the user got an old browser, that's not a problem with CUBE CSS because progress. Okay, even if the user is using an old browser, the CUBE CSS will work fine with it as well. By creating a minimal viable experience, you account for the overall CSS for your features, which gives it for wasted and unlocked minimal viable experience, the most modern level of the text box and read with fear. Okay, here is an important point. Most of the styles we will write will be written at a higher level, which would be supported by the composition utilities and then finally blocks and exceptions. So it has a very flat and inclusive structure, so learning it becomes easy because it is predictable. Any technology will do, whether you like to author your CSS with SAS, less for CSS or even CSS. Whether we will use any type of CSS preprocessors like SAS, less for CSS or even CSS in JS, this methodology will work fine. The principles and the methodologies that we will learn today will work fine. So it doesn't depend on the tool that we use. It is CUBE CSS, it is more of a thinking and organizational methodology rather than tooling methodology. So it's not a tool, it's more of an thinking. As long as the output is CSS, it's all good. As long as the output is CSS, it's good. So it says that CSS is forgiving. Yes, it happens because the styles we write are not always applied. Maybe that's what forgiving is. Simple is always more effective than complex. There is a cascade and inheritance. We will see how it is embracing the cascade and inheritance to style as much as possible. Style as much as possible. So we write the CSS mostly at a higher level. Global styles. Take it to the browser. The page will still look great. Focus enhancement in action. It enables us to write as little CSS as possible. As little CSS as possible. It is a progressive enhancement approach. What is composition? So it extends CSS. This is a very much high level macro view even when applied in smaller component level contexts. Higher level macro view. We are just exploring these things. I am going through this part for the first time, so I may not be able to explain what these concepts are, but after going through all this, we will pick one thing at a time and apply them to our projects one by one, and after that we may be able to understand it better while building the project. So macro level means applying styles at a higher level. What we have seen, applying styles at a global level, I think so. Means thinking. Mainly it's thinking that once we write all CSS at a higher level, before writing it, we have to think of the composition, that is the layout structure. So it is a higher level thinking. We are writing the CSS before even applying that CSS in the HTML. we use the composition layer, we have to determine the how elements interact with each other. We have to think about how each element reacts with each other, and it will also create a consistent flow. It also makes the layout flexible. Okay, so it's not just for styling. It's not just for styling like the color or font style. Font style means these are the minute details. It's more about the layout. Font style and color are minute details, and we think about the layout in this process. Okay, provide the decorative styles such as shadows and patterns. Okay, these are also small details. There are two examples. Examples of composition. First, traditional layout. Second, flexible rhythm and flow styles. Okay, so this one is a traditional layout. We have got a hero image with three cards, what we can call. Okay, we have got a good classic hero in the card situation. Okay, with three column grids. Okay, got the card situation with three column grids. We have got various elements here that themselves are individual components. Various elements here that themselves are individual components. The composition of this is what controls the overall layout. Okay, we have got the various elements here. They can be defined, they can be separated as individual components. So composition is how we control the overall layout and rhythm of each and every element. Okay, it's like a skeleton. Okay, so composition is like a skeleton. We haven't got into the skin and bones of it, which can be like color and all like that, width and all. Maybe, I think so. No. Okay, so skeleton is the composition, and the minute details like color, font style are not part of the skeleton. As you can see, the composition handles how things stitch together. Okay, it handles how things. Okay, this thing is at the top. Okay, it's in a rhythm. It's a skeleton. We have the component here, means all the components in this layout, and in here we have just got the skeleton without any styling, minute styling like color, font style or anything, or even the text. Okay, so in the skeleton we can put whatever components we like. Like in this part, we in this component we have put buy some stuff. This card, we have used this card instead of this one. And this isn't looking odd in this place. This fits perfectly in this layout. So the skeleton handles the layout for us. Flow and rhythm. To create flow and rhythm, to create flow and rhythm between elements, we can use the composition layer to generate a rule. So to maintain the flow and rhythm, we are using dot flow. I think it's a class. Okay, so this is a class for the composition. That is that sets a rule. Flow is a class for the composition that sets a rule. It mostly consists of margin. It can be either set in the global context or to individual elements in the HTML. Okay, this is the card example. Okay, here we got an article with the class of card, another class of card underscore image. We have got another card content. So we have separated two classes with square braces. Also we have space in here. Okay, this means now that each element within card content. Okay, so since we have used the flow class, flow space. Okay, so we are using for the margin top, setting the top margin of 1 em, and we have got the margin 1 em for each content. Okay. So this one I got it. It applies to all the siblings. Sibling elements. Okay. Okay. So it applies to all the sibling elements. So what are the sibling elements in the card content? Maybe these are the sibling elements. 1, 2, 3. We have got 3 sibling elements, and it is setting. No, not 3. Maybe 2. Okay, 2. This one is an image. Bottom one is an image. We have 2 siblings here, and it is applying 1 EM as margin. Okay, the default state. Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break. I will come again soon. Okay, so okay, am I audible? Let's continue. So we were learning about composition. We got to know one example on how it works. So we have defined the styling selected to dot flow and asterisk plus asterisk this symbol. So whatever we have applied, whenever we apply the flow class to any of the elements, it will apply to all the siblings. Since we have applied the flow class to this div, it will apply the margin top 1 em to these two siblings. Okay, so we have already defined the flow space variable to 1.4 rem. So it will either apply 1.4 rem or 1 em. Okay, so it will apply either of these two values, that is 1.4 rem or 1 em. I don't know what would be the conditions. Maybe it would be depending on the screen size or what. Okay, so what we understand from composition is It's about thinking about the layout and deciding what should be the how should the layout look. Design the skeleton first before moving on to the micro things. Okay, next we will look into utility. Okay, so a utility in the context of CUBE CSS. Okay, so it is a CSS class that does one job and does that one job well. Okay, what does it do? So utility is mostly used to either for one CSS property or some group of properties combined together, like we can see in the example of dot wrapper. We have three properties defined. Okay, so utility is mostly used to maintain consistency, I think so. Okay, it gives whenever we apply this dot wrapper, it will give the consistent max width of 60 pixel and the padded contents report. So the CUBE CSS, it works extremely well in our design systems. If let me layer works hand in hand. Okay. Why? Because so the CUBE CSS, okay, it works well with the design systems. Why? Because utility layer is working hand in hand with the design tokens. Sorry. Design systems, more often than not, they will be defined away from your CSS code base. Okay, they are defined in a different file maybe. So to use another CUBE CSS method, it is recommended that you generate utility classes. Okay, generate the utility classes. This example, let's say you have a set of design tokens defined in a JSON file like this. Okay, these are the design tokens. Okay, design tokens. You can call this as a design token. So this one is a JSON file. So then we can generate the utility classes. Okay, we can generate the utility classes. This token in a CSS property. Okay, as we have discussed, utility is mostly used for like grouping properties together or a single property. So we have used these colors. So we have created a utility class. Okay. So design tokens allows us to define things once and apply them everywhere. We can use them everywhere. So we will define things only once and we will apply things everywhere. Like this is a JSON file. In here we have define the tokens, of for the color, for the primary color, secondary color and base color. You can directly apply this in the HTML. So design tokens, okay, they are a single source of truth. So let's understand what do the utilities do. They are used to apply a single CSS property or concise group of related properties. Okay, we use utilities when we want to apply a single property or a concise group of related properties. Okay, which can be used multiple times, which can be reused. Okay, it can also be used when we want to extend the design tokens. Sorry. It can also be used from the design tokens to maintain a single source of truth. Extract repeatability away from the CSS and apply it in the HTML instead. So instead of repeating the repeatedly using the same classes, means suppose we have applied this background color. We have used this background color in the CSS file twice or thrice. Instead of that, we will just use this class everywhere or in the three areas where we want to apply this background color. So it makes our CSS look more clean. Okay, what does it not do? Okay, define a large group unrelated. Okay, so it is used to group the related CSS property and not the unrelated CSS properties. So example like okay, we cannot group like color, font style, padding, but we can group padding and margin together maybe, and the color and background property. I think so. We can group the related properties. Used as a specificity hack, for example, setting all properties with important value. We set our properties with important value. It will cause problems. Okay. So here we can see that unrelated properties would make more sense to be in a block. What is a block? It is a skeletal component. So for the layer, when we build a skeleton for the layout, it is a composition, but for a component, when we build a skeleton, each individual component, when we build a skeleton, it is a block. Card element or the button element, it can be called. Okay. In the previous example, when we saw the layout, each card element, it can be called as a block. Skeletal. Okay. It is skeletal because by the time we get to the block, most of the work has already been done by the composition and the utility classes. So blocks role, it is less like BEM. It is less like a BEM. In BEM, okay. Okay, so block is less like a BEM because BEM, everything is styled inside a block, whereas in the block we write the CSS that flows or that run against the CSS that we have written in the global styles, like the composition and the utility layers. It runs against the global CSS, right? It runs against the global CSS that we have created in the composition and the utility layers. It is mostly context based. Styles differ based on the context of the component. Okay. No formal element syntax. BEM enable contains a double underscore. So we do not have to use double underscore in the BEM. Sorry, in the CUBE CSS, it's not mandatory to use the double underscore as it is used in the BEM. Because most of the work has already been done when you reach to the block. Okay. So inside the block we can do whatever we want. Because we have the safety net of the parent block class. I don't know about this parent block class. Okay, so it adds one extra specificity point for you. With all of this in mind, you could have selectors that look like this. Okay, inside the block. Sorry. Inside the block, we can write whatever we want because of the safety net of the parent block class. In this case, parent block class is dot my block. Okay, we could have selected like this. Stable elements. The main thing is consistency. So the important thing is consistency. How you achieve that consistency is up to you and your team. So the main thing is consistency. Okay. composition within blocks. It is advised that you approach the internals of your block with a composition layer. Okay, it is saying me to approach the internals of the block with the composition layer. Let's use card as well. Let's see this. We have got a card. Inside this card's content area, we have inside the content area we have a heading and some content. Using a flow utility, we create a block level composition layer, which means that any contents should be supported in this element. Any contents should be supported with this in this element. Okay, using the flow utility that we have used before, we will create a block level composition layer inside it using the flow utility. Its purpose is to be that any content should be supported in this element. Any content should be supported. Now, okay. Let's see what should a block do. So it is already extending the work done by the global CSS, composition and utility layers. And it is also applying a collection of design tokens. Okay, it is also applying the collection of design tokens within a concise group. Within a space of specificity boost to control a specific context. Okay, what shouldn't a block do? What is it doing? What is it? Okay, I didn't got this. Create a namespace or specificity boost. Oh, okay. So it means that if you want to add any specific styles to a part of a element, specific context, like in this case we decided to design this card differently. We will use the block in it with the flow utility, but we can make it as specific as we want. We cannot grow. We cannot use more than 80 to 100 CSS lines when we are implementing the block. Okay, and we should not use block when we are solving more than one contextual problem. We should not use block when we are solving more than one contextual problem, like styling a card and button in one file, or card and button in one file. So let's end the stream now. I think we will continue the exception part the next stream, and hopefully we will apply the CUBE CSS in the next part itself, and we will submit it for review. Okay guys, let's end the stream right now. Hope you have enjoyed the stream. Have a great day ahead.